So first, in this piece, Paradox Machines, first off, you walk into a room, and there's a little iPhone up in the corner of the room that you probably don't notice, but it's running our AR app, and being projected into a projector. So you walk into the room, there's a wall-sized projection in front of you, and you are in the quantum world with all of these atoms and their electrons. They're as big as you are, or bigger. You can dance with them. You can go in and out of these, and it's to give you kind of a whole body kinesthetic experience of the different levels of the quantum atom. So we zoom you in and zoom you back out, so you can see these levels sort of building up and up, and then we put the thing in superposition, which there's a lot of different things that have quantum effects. Photons have quantum effects. Atoms have quantum effects. Electrons have quantum effects. And chips. That's what the latest Nobel Prize was. That entire chips where you can actually see the gates on the chips also exhibit quantum effects. But the thing is that it's really easy to explain them if you're just dealing with this atom and you're going through all these different levels. These are the different quantum levels of the electron, exciting the electron to different states. You can play around with that, and then we zap the atom with one specific laser, and that makes the outer electron cloud that's spherical in its base zero state start transforming into kind of a dumbbell shape, which has a higher energy. And it's apparently really changing back and forth in time. And when I discovered this, with a little bit of help from ChatGPT, correlated by the human physicists, by the way, I said, like,
it's a good form of research.
You mean I can actually like animate between the sphere and the dumbbell, and that's actually a good visual description of what's happening in this superposition state? And they said, yeah. It's like, well, why didn't anyone say this is really easy to visualize? And when you get two or more atoms doing this together, they're all in superposition, and then you zap them with, actually, I think usually a pair of lasers, then that produces this effect where that locks together the phases in exact opposite directions. When one of those atoms the electron is in the sphere, the other one is in a dumbbell shape. So and that's entanglement. And you can take one of those atoms and put it on the other end of the universe, and when you then read out the first atom that you still have with you, if that electron is in the spherical zero state, by golly, the other one's going to be in the excited one state. So here with like a single atom, you can show superposition and entanglement really easily, and then it turns out that a quantum computer made with these atoms is also really easy to depict. So the second phase of the piece is you see these very broad blue lasers and all of these strontium atoms that have been turned into a gaseous state. They're flying all around, but it turns out that the laser cools them down, and that reduces their energy, and then they become stable, and then they're just hovering there in air. And then they bring in other lasers and make this grid of infrared lasers that has the right, these are all like different energy levels. Has the right energy levels, so they actually trap the nearby atoms, and the nearby atoms settle into the nodes of the grid. And there's going to be some holes in that, but guess what? You can take a green laser, which they call an optical tweezer, and you can literally like pick up an individual atom and place it in that hole. This is the engineering that we can do with quantum mechanics now. We can actually like build the machine. So you've got this grid of these atoms, and then you zap them with lasers to put them in superposition, entangle them with each other. And it's this entanglement which is the actual calculation step.